Okay, so for the first rebuttal, the affirmative stated that mandatory voting would be the basis for democracy. But the International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance stated that mandatory voting is not consistent with the freedom associated with democracy. They say voting is not an intrinsic obligation and enforcement of the law should be an infringement of the citizens' freedom and associated with the democratic elections. They also state that by having mandatory voting, it will force, or not force, but really encourage citizens to know what they're voting for and to be more aware of the issues and whatnot. Jason Brennan, the ethics and public policy professor at Georgetown University, he stated that citizens appear to make systematic mistakes about the most basic issues in economics, political science, and sociology. So while you can force someone to vote, you can't force them to know a lot about an issue, which I strongly agree with, because just because someone makes you do something, you can just go through the motions of it. It doesn't mean you have to wholeheartedly do it, which is the same with voting. It won't, by forcing citizens to vote, it won't make them want to be aware of an issue. It'll probably just make them feel like it's just another chore they have to do, like paying taxes or whatnot. Jason Brennan also states that the typical and median citizen who abstains under voluntary voting is more ignorant, misinformed, and irrational about politics than the typical and median citizen who votes. If so, then we force everyone to vote. The electorate as a whole will then become more ignorant, misinformed, and irrational about politics. They also state that political parties will not spend as much money because of the high voter turnout. But I disagree with this because even though the political parties themselves aren't spending money on advertisements, commercials, campaigns, and all of the traveling that they do, there will still be money that put into people who have to enforce the rules if they even decide to enforce it at all. You know, so just as he stated earlier how Australia's fine is $20, who is going to be in charge of making sure that citizens pay that $20? And if it's not really a big deal to enforce, then what is the point of really making it a law anyways? What is the point of making it mandatory if you don't want your citizens to follow through with it? So in the end, it will cost more money for the people that do have to enforce it.